Yo, crew. I'm surrounded by, I think it must be swan poo, and it says loads of it, but this is the only place to sit. It's lovely. I'm down here by the river. I feel quite alone at the moment because this is probably the first actual day for a long while that me and Loz haven't spent the day together. She's at the top of the hill there on a course, and it's a female only course, so hence I'm on my tiddly tods. A lot of people, they don't know how to get their mind in the gear and actually do the do, so to speak. But how do we get from feeling crap to feeling really good about ourselves and positive? So these 4 steps is your state. We can call it state. Oh, it's a dragonfly. Your state, your character, your attitude, how you feel bit. This is the really, really important bit because this is what feeds on from the rest. So how do you get in state? Not by putting your elbow in poo, that's the thing. And I use lots and lots of different ways to get me in state. The most powerful one I use is music, and this is my favourite song. This is the song that puts me into state every time I listen to it. But you can use any music that you like, and it's just there to actually move you from a negative to a positive. Another thing you can do is actually move your body, because if we start moving our body, it starts pushing all the nutrients around our body, it starts pushing blood around our body, and it starts making us feel different. It takes our mind away from having a shit feeling. It puts our mind on a different way. But if you don't like to exercise and you can't think of a good song to listen to, or you've got no way of listening to the music, you can actually recall memories. Memories of a holiday, memories of your wedding, memories that make you feel really good. And I want you to not just go, oh yeah, I remember that. Relive it. Go back into your memory banks and actually put yourself there. Feel exactly how you felt at that time and notice the change. Notice how this makes you feel. Because there's some days that I don't want to talk to people. I'm not that much of a social person, okay? This is me just putting it out there. I'm not the massive social person. I'm not the person that likes to be in big crowds. This is where I like to be. I like to be on my own or with Loz and just being with nature. But sometimes I can't get away from that, and I know that. And rather than just cowering away, see, I get distracted so easy. There's dragonflies everywhere. But let's get back on track. Let's talk about you. There we go. But as soon as you get yourself into state, the world becomes bigger. The world has a lot more options rather than just you being stuck in that way. So getting into state is the first port of call. This is the first thing we need to learn how to do. If you come at anything from expectation, you're always going to be disappointed. But if we look at it from appreciation, you're going to look at what's around you and you're going to come at it from a more positive point of view. And this brings me nicely onto the next point, which is focus. Where are you focusing right here, right now? Where is this focusing on? Is it focusing on the things you have or the things you haven't got? Where is your thought process? Where are you focusing on? Let me tell you a story. You see, this story hit home to me back in 2012 when we had the Olympics in England. I was watching all the events, I was really engrossed in it, and I was noticing all the reporters were asking the same questions to every single competitor. Whether they was on the starting blocks, whether they were going onto the field of play, whether they were pulling the bow back on the archery, they all asked the same question. And that was, did you feel nervous when you went onto that playing field, when the starting gun went off, when you got onto the blocks? Did you feel nervous? And each and every single one, so 100% of all the competitors said the same answer, no. And this got me thinking, when you're on the starting blocks, when you walk onto the field of play, what happens? You get sweaty hands, your heart rate goes up, you get this anxiety feeling. Okay, so heart rate up, sweaty hands, out of breath, and you become focused. And a lot of people say that's anxiety. Some people say it's fear. Some people say it's nerves. Some people say that's scared. But really, every single competitor had trained their brain to say that they was excited. That they was excited to be competing. And it's the same response in our body. Heart rate up, sweaty hands. I get excited or I get nervous. It's exactly the same response in our body, but they've trained their brain. Oh, this camera's going to blow off, it's a little bit windy. So they train their brain to actually be excited with it, and we can do the same. It depends on how we focus our energy, because this is about focus now. Do we focus on, am I feeling fearful? Am I feeling excited? It's the same response in our body, but it's the different languages we use to decipher it, to put a meaning to it. Let's take me, for example. I love my adrenaline sports. I get excited about that, but put me on a plane and I get sweaty hands, my heart rate goes through the roof. But I used to put a thing called fear involved with that. I used to be scared of flying. But nowadays, I look at it as excitement. When the plane goes, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, it falls out the sky. That's exciting now, because I've put a different terminology to it. Where our focus goes, our energy flows. And it's all about reframing how we perceive that feeling inside our body. So how do you perceive something to be? And that brings us on to the next thing, questions. Quality of your questions determines the quality of the answers. There's two types of questions that we have. One of them is what we call a stagnation question, and that's just us, why me? Look at that question. As soon as we say why, our brain just goes, right, let me give you the reasons why you're so this, or why you're so that. Why am I so overweight? Because I sit on the sofa all day long? Because I eat sweets all day long? I don't move that much? I must be lazy. See, you can see my brain giving me all the answers, the reasons why I'm fat. But then we got propulsion questions. And these are the ones that get you moving. You see, these are my favourite questions, propulsion questions, and they get you moving because they open up your mind to be thinking in a different way. How can I become thin? Or let's be more important, how can I become healthy? Because that's what we're all about, isn't it? Being healthy is more important than being thin. Yeah? How can I be healthy? Ask that question to yourself and see what happens. See what answers actually come up. Let's make it more powerful. How can I be healthy and make it fun? So you can see we can actually build on the layers of these propulsion questions and actually get more power out of them. Because the better the question is, the more powerful the answer is going to be. You see, I love the simplicity of it. It is so simple, but we try to make it complex because we think we can't achieve this, or do we deserve it? But all you need to do to change your behaviour pattern, to change the way you think, is get yourself into a good mood. Okay, find something that does that for you. Whether that's the music we spoke about, whether it's the memories of previous experiences, or even going and get your body moving. Do some exercise because it stops you overthinking things. Point one, once you've got yourself into a good state, focus on what you really want. And that can be anything, whatever you want. Be creative. Do not limit yourself to the mundane. Don't limit yourself to what you believe that's the card you dealt with. Be really creative. And once you've decided that, excuse the wind, you start asking better questions. Really get them questions in. Make sure they're propulsion ones. Make sure they don't keep you in the here and now. Make sure they're not them stagnant things that stink and smell and are really disgusting that stop you moving forward. Propulsion is the way forward. And once you get all them three, the fourth one is your behaviour. That is going to determine it. This is how you move forward. So get yourself into a peak state, get yourself really happy, find your focus, really drill that focus down, focus, and then ask yourself the questions, what you want, and that's it. I'm going to go to a party now. We've been invited to a Hogwarts party. So the party's finished, we are done, it's nearly midnight, and I do apologise for the lights, it's not the greatest. So that just leaves me to say, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if it tickles your bits, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.
Babe, do you want to show them like how the lighting's working in the car at the moment?
This is what we've got.
So I'm holding the iPhone, and I'm filming on Barry's phone, and then we've got this one as well. This is what we do for you people so that you can watch us, so that you can see Barry's beautiful face. You can't see my, oh look, you can see my beautiful, there we go. So if you like this vlog, give it a thumbs up, and if it tickles your bits, then you know what you need to do. Hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna take you on a ride.